brothers and sisters, sisters who want to be brothers and vice versa. It's that time of the day you've all been waiting for.
Can Jesus see my weed?
Is my EBT here?
No, you dumbass. It's the Moment of Reason with your host, Big B Chill.
It's been a very long time since I did a Moment of Reason update, but I feel that it is very necessary for me to tell you this story. Many months ago, I did a video about Stevie J, who many of you all know from the reality TV show Love and Hip Hop. I spoke about how his child support arrearage had exceeded $1 million. I also spoke about former NFL wide receiver Terrell Owens and his situation, and the fact that I do not shed tears for women who get murdered for using children as pawns. That particular video caught me a lot of personal flack, but I continue to stand by what I said. And this recent tragedy that I'm about to discuss, which took place, is the exact reason why the only people I shed tears for are the children. Now, this comes out of Douglasville, Georgia, and it's from the Associated Press. Okay? A man in Douglasville had been arguing with his ex-wife over taxes and child support before he showed up at her house and killed her and 3 other people before fatally shooting himself, an investigator said Monday. The shooting happened just after 3 p.m. Saturday as neighbors were outside enjoying unusually warm weather. Yeah, you know us black folks. It's the middle of February, but we got to barbecue some ribs and pork chops after hooting and hollering at Sunday service and thanking Lord Jeebus for our health. Cedric G. Prather Jr., 33, parked about a quarter mile from the home and walked inside a suburban Atlanta home, fatally shooting his ex-wife, 33-year-old Latoya A. Andrews, and her boyfriend, 33-year-old Joseph Terry Brown. Prather also fatally shot 2 of his children, including one of whom a neighbor said begged him not to pull the trigger. Prather left no note, explaining his motive. Douglas County Sheriff's Captain Bruce Ferguson said. He says, "I can't tell you why he did it." Please. Who fucking knows why he did it? He says, "All I can do is say that he snapped or he had had enough." Okay, it was what he concluded. All right. The shooting happened in a subdivision in Douglasville, which is about 20 miles west of Atlanta. Prather killed his 7-year-old daughter, London, and 9-year-old son, Jeremiah. He shot and wounded 2 other children, who are in critical condition. Andrew's 15-year-old daughter, Demisha Owens, I guess this is from a previous relationship that she had before she got involved with her ex-husband. And Prather also shot, this is the man, or the simp, the new boyfriend. He also shot Brown's 7-year-old daughter, Jada Brown. The 15-year-old and the 7-year-old are both in critical condition. A third child of Andrews and Prather, a 13-year-old boy, was not home at the time. Prather and Andrews were married for about 11 years and had been divorced about 5 years, Ferguson said. There had been no prior reports of domestic violence, and there was nothing in Prather's record that jumped out as a red flag. Neighbors heard gunshots within a few minutes of Prather's arrival and called 911, Ferguson said. A witness told the police one of Prather's children was heard outside pleading with him not to shoot. After the rampage and carnage, Prather killed himself in the street. Let me say something to you women out there. Over the last 40 to 50 years, you all have been encouraged to do certain things that women from every previous generation before you knew to never do. There are three things that you don't do to a man. You don't mess with a man's money, his woman, and most importantly, you don't mess with a man's children. A man's money is his means of survival and his prime source of trade. A man's woman is the source of comfort and caretaking for that man. A man's children are a man's legacy. History has always shown that when other men threaten a man's primary source of trade, his women, and his children, it leads to war. And that is exactly what is going on right now. The federal government has waged war against the family unit in America because they want all access to the children. They use you women as pawns because they know that you are the top consumers of both genders. You outnumber men heavily and you spend way more money than we will ever spend. They fool you into believing that restraining orders and constant court trafficking will make a man stand at ease once you take his money and his children away from him. Now, no one who passes these statutes which enforce child support, alimony, and restrict men from seeing their children will ever be harmed because they have security protecting them for the remainder of their lives. You, however, don't. So they con you into thinking that everything will be gravy and you could go on safely with your ex-husband's money, his kids, and have another man who is tapping your pussy after him pat his kids on the head and tell them to call him their daddy. All of you women need to listen closely and take heed. The police are not going to help you. All they're going to be able to do is stretch that yellow tape across the yard and tie it off to a tree or fence. Then, once the forensic department finishes taking photographs of your corpse, the homicide detectives are going to draw straws to see which one of them has the unfortunate task of going to your mama's home and knocking on her door so they can tell her what happened. After your mama faints in the doorway and has a nervous breakdown, one of the other family members is going to have to identify your remains at the morgue. After they nod yes in disbelief, the coroner is going to hand them a clipboard with a few sheets of paper on it for them to sign before he rolls you back into the freezer and slams the door shut. Shortly after that, your family will have to set up a meeting at Negro Memorial Funeral Home, where the director will say, you know what? I think we can slide y'all in after Pee Wee or Pookie's funeral. Once the news spreads that you have been murdered, everyone on Facebook is going to leave all sorts of sympathy quotes, including your dumbass girlfriends who kept advising you to fuck with that man and take him for everything like a bunch of kids playing Hungry Hippo. Once your family sets up your funeral, your girlfriends are going to call one another up and do some info checking so they can see what certain people are wearing to your funeral. And then they're going to go to the department store with next month's rent money because y'all know they got to look fly so they can model themselves down the aisle of the church or the funeral home to give you one last phony kiss while you lay in your casket. As they bend over, their asses will be poked out just enough to lure another simp or trick into being a future baby daddy. I just want to say that I'm a Miss Latoya, and all the times we used to drop our kids off with their grandmothers so we could race the happy hour just in time for the 2-drink minimum special for free. I'ma miss all the times I used to cover for her and tell her ex-husband and her other baby daddy that the kids was well taken care of and she was out doing what she was supposed to do. Girl, I know that you in heaven right now. Just make sure that you got a bottle of Nouveau waiting at the red velvet rope for me. And once the show is all over and they finish wheeling your remains into the ground or handing your urn to your relatives, one of them simp-ass dudes is going to trot over to your girlfriends in the parking lot and offer some extra condolences, talking about, "Hey girl, my name is Brian, but all my friends call me B. That was your friend? Oh man, my heart goes out to you. But check this out, right? You don't have to go to her mom's home for no chicken and mac and cheese or nothing. I'll take you out to eat right now so you can calm your nerves and everything. Here, you need some clinics? Oh, better yet, look, use my handkerchief. Yeah, girl, you look too pretty to be doing all that crying. Got them tears running down your pretty face and everything. Look, you could tell one of your friends to just fix you a plate or something. Just come with me. I'm parked right over here." "All right. Hey, girl, I got something to do right quick. Tell Latoya's mother I'm sorry I couldn't make it. Make sure y'all bring me some potato salad." And just like that, you're forgotten. And the simp and your hood rat girlfriend live happily ever after. Well, that is until she finds out that she's knocked up, or she goes through his phone and finds out the Negro is fooling around with a couple of other hoes she knows. Hell, we can spin this many ways. Anyway, this is Big BKL, and this has been a Moment of Reason update.